do you fancy them? And that would then make you a bit shy. Yeah, I fancy them. Someone who is good to look at, they're lush. Hello lovely friends, how are you doing today? Great, me too, thanks very much for asking. John here, Becca's fiance, and today on Becca's Brit Tucky Vlogs, we thought it might be quite nice to teach some Anglophiles some proper British compliments that maybe you could use in everyday life, or if ever Becca hears me say these things, she'll understand what they mean. So here are a few compliments that British people use that Anglophiles might not quite understand. You look smart. Now, a lot of people would think that smart is to do with your mind, but actually when someone looks smart, a British person is just saying, you look nice, you look lovely, you look very smart. You'd say that to someone who maybe is going for a first day at school or a first day at a job and is trying to impress people with how they look. So you'd say, oh, you look smart. When someone is as bright as a button, that doesn't mean they look like an implement for fastening clothing. That just means they're intelligent, they're clever. You're using your brain. You would say, well, that kid is as bright as a button. It doesn't make sense, that one. Buttons are bright to look at, right? Unless they're plastic and then they're not bright. But the brass buttons, they're bright. That's got to be an old saying. I don't even know. Apparently, I'm not as bright as a button, so I can't help you. I quite fancy you is something you would say to a crush. When you fancy someone, it means you're crushing on them. It means you'd like to potentially be in a relationship with that person. I quite fancy you. Just a nice way of saying I've got a bit of a crush. When you're at school, which was a long time ago for me, you'd go, do you fancy them? And that would then make you a bit shy. Yeah, I fancy them. I'm 37 years old. They're lush. Lush has a couple of meanings. I think the main usage for lush is when someone likes to have a drink, have a tipple. They're a lush. They like to drink a lot. But when someone is lush, and I think this is a more common word in the south of the UK, when someone's lush, it means they're really nice, really attractive, someone who is good to look at. They're lush. But you can also say, oh, that's lush. That's good. That's lush. Ah, lush. When you're describing someone as lush, it means that you find them attractive. If you're describing them as a lush, it means they like to drink. I think they're fit. It's got a bit more meat to it when you say someone's fit. Oh, look at them, they're fit. And yes, you are talking about their health in general. They're fit. They can run, they can cycle for miles, but also they're really pleasing on the eye. They're fit. That is something I've said to Becca many times. They're quite tidy. Now, you would assume that's to do with how they look after their maybe person or their house, for instance. Maybe someone who likes to keep things tidied away. No, you'd be very wrong. When someone's tidy, they're nice to look at. All of these things they're nice to look at. That person's tidy, that person's lush, that person's fit. I feel like as a nation, we probably are too into looks. But when someone's tidy, that's perfection. Someone is tidy. Oh, that person is tidy. That's when you think someone's very nice to look at. Someone's very pleasant on the eye. Obviously, looks aren't everything. Let's just clarify that. British people don't think the looks are everything. We like the mind as much as we like the physical. But we don't express that, apparently, unless someone's as bright as a button. You look smashing. That's a bit nicer. We've just reined it back in a little bit. When someone's smashing, they look really nice. Smashing's great. Smashing sounds like it could be throwing plates on the floor and destroying things, but no. When someone is smashing or looks smashing, it's a good thing. Oh, don't you look smashing? I feel like that's probably a little bit older now. It's not used quite as much. You could say something is smashing when something good has happened, for instance. You could be like, oh, I just went and got the mail from the mailbox. Ah, smashing. Saved me a job. It's just like a nice exclamation of good. Smashing! The Greeks have a very different usage for it. That person is buff. When someone's buff, they're well built. That person is buff. They clearly work out. You know, I am not buff. It's used to describe when someone's sexy. Maybe a little bit more so than tidy. Buff. Fit. Maybe a bit more than fit. Buff. Maybe there's a scale. Smashing. Tidy. Lush. I don't know what the scale is. Maybe we can discuss that in another video. Well, that was fun. It was nice to learn a few compliments that we use here in the UK that maybe could be used in other places around the world. Do you have a favourite British saying? Let Becca know in the section below. Wow, I'm a poet and I wasn't aware. It was kind of nice to hang out on her channel for today. Thanks for letting me be a part of this. If you did like this video, leave a little like, subscribe if you're new. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. They're lush. They're lush. They're lush.